What's happening, guys? My name is Adam, aka Speedy Spectrum, and welcome back to Let's Play and Dub Pokémon Fire Red. In the last episode, we explored the Seafoam Islands and caught the legendary Pokémon Articuno. In this episode, we are going to explore Cinnabar Island, the fiery town of Burning Desire. As you can see, there is indeed a Pokémon gym here. Unfortunately, we cannot enter because the door is locked. I don't know what kind of Pokémon gym would be locked. After all, well, now that I think about it, the one in Viridian was locked. But that's beside the point. We need to find a key. And the key can be found in here, the Pokémon Mansion, which is our next dungeon. And a dungeon I am not a particularly huge fan of. And that's because it can be very difficult to navigate. And for being a mansion, this place looks pretty run down. I took on some trainers off screen, but not others. The main gimmick in the Pokémon Mansion are these statues. By pressing the switch, the eyes light up, and certain gates will open while others close. And we need to put up another repel. Yeah, there are a lot of wild Pokemon here, and that's another reason why I don't like it all that much. So we're going to go down here and grab a protein. Very nice. Very nice indeed. And it looks like that's all I need to do on this floor. So let's head upstairs and put up yet another repel. I mean, I might as well use these up because we can get a bunch of max repels later on. There are quite a few journals lying around, and they tell an interesting story. Diary, July 5th, Guyana, South America. A new Pokémon was discovered deep in the jungle. Very interesting. This is also one of the few instances where a real-world location is mentioned within a Pokémon game. It was done in the anime during the first movie as well, when Ash and friends were getting a ride from Team Rocket disguised as Vikings. And I think it was either Misty or Brock commented that they don't usually see Vikings. And Ash said, well, that's because we don't live in Minnesota. So that's a nice little breaking of the fourth wall right there. There's another diary entry right here. Diary, July 10th. We christened the newly discovered Pokemon Mew. So now what we're going to do is, well, put up another repel, first of all. We're going to battle this guy. I believe you are a new trainer. Admittedly, I didn't battle everyone off screen, but this guy is a burglar. Burglars typically use fire Pokemon, and they also tend to give out a lot of cash upon defeat. So you'll want to battle as many of them as you can. There will also be quite a few in the upcoming gym. But since they use fire Pokemon, both Rasmussen and Schneider will prove especially helpful. Both will also prove useful in the upcoming gym because it specializes in fire Pokemon. So we're going to be seeing a lot of Rasmussen and Schneider. So Squirtle users, this is your time to shine. Alright, Charmeleon is up next, and it looks like we've got a good rollout thing going. Yes, it was enough to take it down in one shot. Very nice. Very nice indeed. Alright. Upon defeat, he gives us almost 3,000 bucks. That's really cool. That's really nice indeed. Getting back to the Pokémon Mansion. The reason why I'm not a big fan of it is because it's very difficult to navigate, particularly in the original red and blue and yellow versions. Because of the sprite limitations, it's very difficult to actually tell whether or not the statue has been activated or whether it hasn't been. Which means you could spend your time aimlessly wandering around just hoping a particular gate is open because you pressed that switch. Or becoming frustrated at the fact that you didn't open said gate and now you have to backtrack all the way to the beginning. It gets really, really frustrating to say the very least. Thankfully, it is quite a bit easier in Fire Red and Leaf Green because when the statues are active, you can see that their eyes are glowing. Thankfully, the dungeon itself is not very big. And after we are done with this battle right here, I'm going to talk about the wild Pokemon you can encounter, because there are quite a few. In the meantime, we have this Ninetales to deal with. I would use physical attacks to take it down because Ninetales' special defense is unusually high for a fire Pokemon. The question is, will Rock Slide take it out? It is level 38 after all, and it does! Excellent! I have to say, Ninetales is probably one of the most beautiful Pokemon in the history of the franchise, alongside Lapras and Milotic. And Alolan Grimer and Alolan Muck are rather beautiful in their own disturbing way. This is a Max Potion, excellent. We have another journal entry here. Diary, February 6th, Mew gave birth. We named the newborn Mewtwo. Very interesting indeed. And speaking of Pokemon, after we put up a Max Repel, let's go over the different Pokemon we can catch here in the mansion. First off, we have Coughing. Number 109 in the Pokédex, Coughing is a poison type. And it is a Pokemon that we have encountered many times before, but now is finally our chance to catch one for ourselves. And to be honest, it's not half bad. Being a poison type, it only has one weakness, Psychic. And the reason why it doesn't take any damage from ground type attacks is the fact that it has Levitate, which is an incredibly helpful ability that leaves it immune to ground attacks. Not only that, but Coughing makes for an extremely potent physical wall, and one of the most underrated in my opinion. It does take a while for it to evolve, and it doesn't learn too many great moves leveling up. But if you are patient with it, it can prove to be quite useful. So it may just find a slot on your team. Now, if you look really hard, there is a 10% chance that you will encounter Coughing's evolved form, Wheezing. Number 110 in the Pokédex, Wheezing is the evolved form of Coughing, as I mentioned earlier, and it is only obtainable in Fire Red. You can still catch Coughing in Leaf Green, but you won't be able to encounter its evolved form. As I mentioned earlier when I was talking about Coughing, Wheezing is an excellent, excellent physical wall. Definitely one of the most underrated in my opinion. It also has a very good move pool. Yes, it can learn various poison moves such as Sludge, Toxic, and Smokescreen, but interestingly enough, it can also learn Flamethrower. You don't see that every day in a Pokemon. One interesting factoid about Wheezing is that its original beta name was La, L-A. Now, this is not a reference to the sound that people make while singing, but it is, in fact, a reference to the real-world city of Los Angeles. Widely considered to be one of the most polluted cities on Earth due to the cloud of smog that is above it. So that's kind of a nice little real-world reference made right there. Aside from Coughing and Wheezing, the other poison-type Pokemon you can catch here is Grimer. Grimer is number 88 in the Pokédex, and it is a poison type, and it is more common in Leaf Green than it is in Fire Red. Grimer is also a very underrated Pokemon, in my opinion. I think it has a lot of potential, but there are a few things that do hold it back. For starters, both of its abilities are completely useless. Sticky Hold will make it so that your held item cannot be stolen by the opponent, which is not that great because in-game opponents rarely use moves like Thief. And on the other hand, you have Stench, which makes it so that you will not encounter a wild Pokemon if Grimer is the first Pokemon in your party. Both of these abilities are completely useless in-game, and they're not great in competitive battling either. That being said, you do catch it relatively close to evolution, and it makes for a surprisingly good special wall. And just like Coughing and Wheezing, it can also learn Flamethrower, so it's definitely an interesting Pokemon to play around with. But there are better poison types, in my opinion, than Grimer. Now, similarly to how it was with Coughing in Fire Red, in Leaf Green, you can catch Grimer's evolved form, Muck. Number 89 in the Pokedex, Muck, the evolved form of Grimer, is only obtainable in Leaf Green, as I said, and it's a decent special wall, learns some good moves through TM, but not so great in the level up attack department. And just like Wheezing, it can also learn Flamethrower, and furthermore, it's also one of the few Pokemon to learn the move Acid Armor, which is a move that increases physical defense. So just like Coughing and Wheezing, Grimer and Muck have a number of different interesting moves to play around with. So, yeah, it's fun to use them sometimes. Alright, I believe that is all as far as the wild Pokemon are concerned. There is one other Pokemon you can catch in Blue version, the original Blue version, but we're not going to go over that just yet, because we'll be encountering that Pokemon a little later on. Now, as you saw, I jumped down a pit after I had climbed to the top floor of the Pokémon Mansion, and it's very important that you do go down the left pit, because you'll end up near this staircase. If you choose the pit on the right, you'll fall into the next room that I'm staring at, and that passageway is actually a way out. And right now, that was my last max repel I had just used. So we've got another trainer battle. Yeah, I'm thinking that exact same thing right now, buddy boy. I used to get lost in this place all the time when I was just a little 9-year-old kid playing Pokemon. But thankfully, the key that we need to find is indeed in this room. So what we're going to do is we're going to switch out to Schneider because he has not had enough time to shine. And I'm going to take a quick water break. There we go. I don't like it when my throat is a bone-dry pit. Now that I think about it, I should clarify something. This video you are watching right now is a re-upload. That is because, for some rhyme or reason, the original file was lost and I just could not find it, no matter how hard I tried. So I had to replay the game all the way up till this point. Yeah, not fun. That is why my levels and my movesets are a little inconsistent. However, I still have the same team, and that's what really counts. Now let's activate this switch, and if that dude could just move aside, we could read that journal entry. I guess we won't get a chance to because he's not going to move, but it says something along the lines of how Mewtwo has grown. Oh, wait, no, he did move. Okay, let's read the journal entry. There we go. Diary, September 1st. Mewtwo is far too powerful. We have failed to curb its vicious tendencies. That sounds rather interesting, doesn't it? I'm sure it's no great big deal, and whoa, you saw me from all the way over there? That's impressive, dude. Especially considering that you're wearing glasses. I mean, whoa! That was amazing. Well, thankfully Howland can deal with these Magnemites and Magnetons. Kind of disappointing that you don't encounter Magnemite or Magneton inside the Pokémon Mansion, but we'll be meeting up with them in a later area, along with something else, if you catch my drift. And if you've ever played Pokemon Red, Blue, and Yellow or Fire Red, Leaf Green, you know exactly what Pokemon I'm talking about. A certain incredible Pokemon that we'll be encountering later on where a bunch of electric types live. Yeah, shameless foreshadowing, but oh, Magnitude 9, very nice. These, thankfully these battles are getting a little bit easier, and I don't need to spend nearly as much time. Oh, Rasmussen grew to level 41. Very nice indeed. I think that might have been the last scientist or trainer person that we got to encounter. So we're going to go ahead and activate this statue, and I believe that is going to open the way forward. We also get to TM14, which contains Blizzard. That is a super, super powerful Ice-type move. And prior to, and in Generation 1, it actually had 100% accuracy. Unfortunately, I won't teach it to Schneider because it already knows Ice Beam, and I will choose accuracy over power. Unfortunately, I don't have any more repels left. So, yeah, we might have to fight a few wild Pokemon on the way. Yeah, you can also encounter Growlithe and Ponyta in the Pokemon Mansion as well, depending on what... well, why did I... yeah, that's what happens when you press the wrong button. Yeah, I mean, I'm fairly confident I don't need any more help in playing the game, especially how far I've come. But anyway, right here, TM22, which contains the move Solar Beam, which is a grass-type move that charges up on the first turn and unleashes an incredible amount of power on the second. Right here, this Pokeball contains the secret key. That is the key we need to unlock the door to the Cinnabar Gym. We're going to go ahead and use an escape rope because I really don't feel like walking through the entire mansion again. All right, we've got the key, but we are not quite done just yet. Instead, we are going to head right in here. This is the Pokemon Lab. This is where they research Pokemon fossils, and there are some interesting people to talk to. First of all is this dude. He will offer to trade you an Electrode for a Raichu. This is a horrible trade, and I don't want to give up Amber. She has been my trusted companion since close to the beginning of the game, and I don't want to give her up. Now this dude is going to mention fossils in Mount Moon. Remember back then when we fought that guy and got a fossil from him? Well, now we can finally do something with it. This trainer will offer to trade a Tangela in exchange for a Venonat. Again, this is not a worthwhile trade because we'll be encountering wild Tangela very soon. Now, in this room, we have this guy right here who will offer to teach one of your Pokemon the move Metronome. He is a move tutor, but I am not going to take him up on his offer. Metronome is an attack which causes the user to use a random Pokemon attack. If anything, it's more of a fun move than anything else. So I really wouldn't recommend it on a competitive move set. Now this guy right here will offer to trade a Seal for a Ponyta. Again, not a worthwhile trade because A, we cannot catch Ponyta in Fire Red, and B, you are able to catch seal in the Seafoam Islands. So I don't know why you would do it. Now, we're going to talk to this dude. Hiya, I am important doctor. Yes, very much so indeed. Judging by his speech pattern, it doesn't look like English is his first language. We do indeed have a fossil for him to revive. If you bring him the Helix fossil, it will be revived into Omanite. If you bring him the Dome fossil, it will be revived into Kabuto. Now, he does say that he needs a bit of time, but all you need to do is exit and then re-enter, and your fossil will be revived. And yes, we received Omanite, but we're not going to use it. The Helix fossil was not the only fossil we had, though. Remember back in Pewter City, we cut down that tree and then entered the museum from the other door? You remember that we obtained an old amber fossil. That fossil can be revived into the Pokémon Aerodactyl. Aerodactyl is number 142 in the Pokédex. It is a rock and flying type. Very unique combination that doesn't leave it with a whole lot of weaknesses. Now, actually, that might not be 100% true. It does have quite a few weaknesses. The first thing that jumps out about Aerodactyl is its speed. It is without question one of the fastest Pokemon in the entire game. This thing is able to outspeed almost anything save for a select few Pokemon. Not only that, but it is an excellent physical attacker with an amazing move pool. It can even learn some special attacks like Fire Blast as well. So on the surface, Aerodactyl sounds like a pretty solid Pokemon, and if you remain patient with it, it can be. The downside? It's resurrected at level 5. Same as Omanite and Kabuto. I don't know what they were thinking when deciding to implement this change, because they're resurrected at level 20 in Red, Blue, and Yellow, which is much more reasonable. I mean, granted, it's still really, really low compared to the levels your Pokemon are at now, but level 5? Really? It dumbfounds me. And the fact that you get it so late in your adventure further limits its usability, and it makes it hard for me to recommend Aerodactyl, and that's a shame because it has the potential to be a really, really good Pokemon. But it's just those factors that really hold it back, and that's a shame. All right. That is it for bios, and that is it for this video. So next time on Let's Play and Dub Pokemon Fire Red, we are going to enter the gym to battle Blaine, the Cinnabar Island gym leader. See you guys next time.